It's difficult this stream. My mum's died today, and it's hard for anyone that loses a loved one. I've had issues all my life with my mum, but something I know now is still hard. Obviously, I've emailed. It's going to be harder to trying to work with public servants that they need to help me with. And it's going to impact my physical and mental health as well. I'll get there because life is precious, and I know that now more than ever. And I know I forgive everybody that's transgressed against me. Forgiveness is important. I used to blame my family for everything. My life, all my life. When you get abused as a child, the trauma throughout your whole life as an adult, it affects you. I know that now. And when you have a loved one dying suddenly out of the blue, and seeing her yesterday, I don't know how to explain how this happened. But I had a call yesterday at 11:30 by my brother, and I come from a Mormon family. And I've got all respect to anyone, whatever your faith or background is. And this is a test of my strength somehow, because I was able to help the rest of my family. And the way I'm about to explain it, it might sound strange to people. Hi, Princess Warrior. I know it's hard. You might relate to this, what I'm about to say. You might. Your spiritual beliefs. And you know what we know about other subjects, okay? And I know on the 11th of June, when my sister from Wales in the UK visits my mum in hospital. Well, my mum's been in a hospital for a long time. And I know when she last visited my home in 2010, this is the first time I got run over and ended up in a wheelchair, you see. So I've had years of struggling with my physical illness, and then the mental health affects me. And when you get abused as a child, I blame the church for everything. I blame my family for everything. I was the youngest of 5, you see. And I realised it's not their fault, it's a man that did this to us kids. And he was a Mormon, and he was a priesthood holder. And it's a long time ago, he's now dead. But my mum always, all her life, always been in love with him, you see. And that's been very hard for me. And I'm the youngest, so I'm the next sister up in Wales. I was able to, well, I've been going with public servants, you see, trying to get my care and housing and needs sorted out when nobody believes what's wrong with me and all these problems going on. You know what it's like. Well, anyone might know, perhaps. Not presuming you know, but it's what I'm going through anyway. And I know about the corruption, all sorts. So I know it's not going to be the end of all the troubles in life and what it is in this world, but I know now. It's like a veil. There's been like a lift of veil, lifted over my eyes upwards to see things more clearly today. Well, especially since yesterday. And my brother gave me lots of photographs. I've just done a live feed on my Facebook page, an hour talking about consciousness, talking about we only have one life, our spiritual bodies, our mind, body and souls linking up together, and how we go through so much as human individuals on this earth in all walks of life, and how the divide is hi, she's feeling better already, I bet. Tinfoil hat, my mum has died, thank you. My mum has died, okay? So I appreciate if you want to make nasty comments and have no feeling or heart, then you'll just be reported for, okay, on this so-called social media. So please, I would appreciate no disrespectness. I know how you feel, tinfoil hat, I really do. We're all dead already, but don't be disrespectful with family that you don't know, people, okay? It's not going to get you anywhere when you want to create hate and disregard, and it's just going to cause divide in people. What's the point in life? If you want to be like that, fine, but don't come on my channel, okay? You don't really need to be like that. It's up to you what you want to do, but you just got to live with your actions and behaviours. Okay, fine, that's fine, tinfoil hat. Okay, thank you for clarifying that. That's okay, no worries. No ill feelings. Okay, thank you for clarifying that. So what I'm really trying to say, I know what you mean, what you just said, but that's a different video another day, okay? I'm just concentrating on the consciousness of our spirits and our bodies, human life on this world, in general terms of when you're losing a loved one. And I haven't even started to go and say what's going to say. So when I'm in a better position, I'll come back on my theories on that one another day. So main thing is for my mum today. Okay, I got a call yesterday, 11:30 in the morning. So it took me till about in the afternoon. I was able to eventually find a specialist taxi, take my wheelchair and me. In a very hot day, you could imagine, in the UK. I don't know what it's like elsewhere. So it was like a palace, really, where this place in the Dustin Village in Northampton, UK is based. And if I was 2 years older, perhaps I might be able to live there, but it's ideal place, really, people in my situation. But the way things are, it's right for my mum to be there. Well, of course, on the 11th of June, when my mum ended up in hospital, and my sister from Wales travelled up to see her, to say her goodbyes. And she put me on a messenger app on a video call to see my mum in hospital. So my mum looked chirpy then. Hair was done, her false teeth was in, and she's obviously hospital bed. From what I saw in that picture, 11th of June this year, to what I saw yesterday was complete opposite. And thank goodness my sister helped prepare me, and my brother. And this is a brother for 30 years I've never really got on with, for so many reasons. But I know it's not him. Everything is within me. My baggage. The damage it's caused to me psychologically, deep-rooted from my life experiences, the repeated traumas in life. And I've had to deal with that. So the way I've learned to deal with that over the years was meditation, natural health, and learning about other subjects on top. It's not been an easy ride. It's not been easy because I've got a public eye. And in my town, I've got old photographs my brother gave to me yesterday. I did a stream with those public photographs of me as a child, from up until my baby photos, and then obviously my photos of babies of my kids when they're little. And my mum had all these black and white photos of me. I never knew she cared that much. I really didn't know. You see, when you go about in life, and I was mixing, or I was very shallow. I was in the modelling industry. I was in business. I've done lots of things before I become ill. And it's only because of the path in life, I rebelled against my church upbringing. So I went down a path that wasn't ideal, wasn't church standards, my family. So I felt disowned. felt alone. So I went on my own way. So I got to meet people over the years, you see, and it weren't ideal. I got into situations not my doing. Unfortunately, met the wrong people in the wrong kind of way. But I can't change the past, I know that now. But unfortunately, it's damaged. The effects on my psychological, my grown-up son and daughter is immense. I know that, and I can't change it. I can only ask their forgiveness. It's nothing I've done to them. The situations I found myself in with the wrong people that's done things to me, that's harmed me. And they witness, domestic violence. So, as you go on from one trauma to the next, you don't deal with what's happened to you. You think you'll be okay, you get over it, and over the years it gets deeper inside your subconsciousness, and you don't overcome it. And it manifests itself in later in life as you get older, and that's what's happening to me. And then I get run over, and then I had an attempt on my life, attempt to murder, and I survived. I survived so much trauma, so long, and there's a reason for that now. I know that. So, again, I'm still not in a religion. I have my own theories and my thoughts. And I know it's not coincidence of what happened yesterday and how I was able to get my thoughts together. Something took over me. Spiritual energy I felt so deep. Was able to talk. I was able to talk in a way I've never talked like that before. I was able to talk in a manner, a basic manner to my mum. She could only move her slight eyes, and my brother warned me about that because they've been taking turns, like sleeping in this room thing where she's got. And anyway, my sister, the one I thought hated me for years since 2009, doesn't. I know that now. And my older brother, my daughter-in-law, not daughter-in-law, my sister-in-law. The sad bit on my own adult son and daughter is still trying to, eventually, I hope one day that could be, I wish they felt they could turn to me. But for whatever reason, my daughter was very close to my mum. Because when my elder brother saw me going in a life that I couldn't see, I just thought it's a normal way of living. I presume you just follow everyday life stuff, But in his opinion, in my family's opinion, you could see the impact was having on my daughter, but I couldn't. I don't know why. And they had to take actions the way they did. And it was all a battle. And the way my mum got involved. So my relationship in my personal life in situations was extremely traumatizing at the time. And ever since then, I never forgave what they'd done. And I had to deal with that myself. So I just get on with life the way I thought. You just do, you just find a way. But you still don't deal with the issues. And I don't know, people turn to all sorts, drinks, drugs, whatever, to hide the pain. And it doesn't help it. Doesn't help. So whatever you're spiritually, whether you believe in something, I started doing meditation and natural health. And it started getting a peace in my life. It's taken me so many years to get to that stage to start with. And I started uncovering the baggage. It hasn't cured everything, but I've started over the years. By good people I met online, by their knowledge, the gifts. And it's just pure, it is not coincidental as all this has happened. It's just the life one sometimes you lead leads to things. And when we're on this busy conveyor belt of everyday pressures in life, which is getting worse, not to be negative, but it is, in some people's situations. And it's knowing to prioritise what's important. Because when you see people go without and starving, injustices, unlawful, it's like like certain connections have mates that, there's a lot of things I know about certain things behind the scenes. And there is. So I think when your intuition kicks in and your survival instinct kicks in, it's very sometimes difficult to not let the stubbornness kick in, So I've been working on that. But it's hard when you've got pressures and everyday stuff, bombardment all at the same time sometimes when you're so ill on top. So the phone call yesterday, well, suddenly someone online gave me a link. I managed to phone up this phone number. They put me in touch with this guy, and it turns out he had a specialist taxi service, and that was specialist vehicle. I've never ever been found. Haven't been able to get out and about for years because of it all, or to appointments, or to anything. And now I found this vehicle, the transport. I now can start process on that in future. And as long as I don't clash with school time runs. And they were lovely. There's a couple of people that own the company, and the 4 vehicles on the road in my area. So now I know that by the kindness of my, unfortunately, not good situation, but my sister, brother, brother-in-law, and the bishop, the Mormon church. In their belief, they prayed for my mum as well and said, who else is there in the family that she might want to be holding on for to say something, need to see someone. And my brother came up with me, knowing the fact all these years that my mum's been ill, I've never been able to even get up to the local hospital, even for appointments. I can't do that special transport. So last year when I thought she's going to die, I was able to consult my son then, and I had just come out of hospital myself. And even then I was able to find the words to console him on the phone. But then for whatever reason, the relationship broke down. I don't know what I've done, what I said, and I wish to goodness I would know. Then I could build the trust relationship slowly back up. He knows who I am. He knows how to contact me. So does my daughter, for the sake of my grandchildren. And I hope they're going through their own grieving processes right now, obviously. And my daughter's not coping. I can't reach out to her. Because I've got so many photos that will just help her one day. Because what I looked like as a kid, long time ago, it looks like what my granddaughter looks like. And knowing that come from my mum, I hope that will help heal her in time. But perhaps I said to my sister on the app phone call today, it might not be the right time, but just let them know, because she's like a mediator. Eventually, I was at my bedside, my mum, certain private conversation, certain words I was able to say. Lovely day looking out the window and seeing the nature, to see the beautiful birds, to see the trees, to describe what I was seeing to her and saying. And just saying to her, Mum, nothing's your fault. It's not your fault. And to say certain personal comments to her, holding her hand, stroking her face, knowing she's inside that body, the body that's given up, knowing that she will be in a better place. Something come over me, knowing that she'd be in a better place. So whatever that might be, believe, whether you believe in whatever. But I know we're all connected. I can't explain it specifically. Nature, birds, animal life, somehow we're all connected consciously. So, okay, We've all got different views, still got our struggles. But at her age she is, and what she's gone for herself all her life, what she's done for the whole family and for me specifically, I was able to be somehow, I don't know where it's come from, to be able to find the key words there and then. And I knew she could hear me. To just let her know that no matter what she's done, whatever she thinks she's done, whatever she thinks I've done, I forgive. And you can't forget. Whatever I've done, and you feel I've done to her. At the 11th hour, and cover light-hearted things to make her, help her spirit remember inside her that all the lovely things, not all the bad things, because she's carried things around with her all her life, and especially with me, and that's very private. I won't go into it public like this. And it's not her fault. I know that now. It's no one's fault. I know that now. Because suddenly, so all I could say, it's like a sense of warm feeling come over to me. And I just was able to say the right things. I don't know where it came from, but it did. And I saw, like my brother explained, how when she recognises and hears your voice and acknowledges what you're saying, she has a certain movement in her eyes. It's not just the body movement in the facial muscles, because I've not experienced this before. Say my brother and being there all the time with my daughter, you know, my sister-in-law and my sister and family members. And I've never seen, I've always known her to have muscles, you know, and not skin and bones, that she was. Long arms. It didn't look like my mum at all. And I was pondering that last night with all the photographs and everything. I didn't get bed till late in the morning because I just couldn't sleep. And so she bought my first pair of mobility shoes, mobility sandals, 2010. And I don't know why I said that. I said, do you remember when you helped me when I first became ill and disabled, and I didn't know anything about care, disability, housing, anything? She always used to go to like these kick up. She knew what to say and how to say things years ago, and she's always taught all of us how to speak up for ourselves. I lost a lot of that skills a long time ago, you see, and but I've learning over the years to get it back, but in a different way. And so it's like a veil been lifted over my eyes, my I don't know what people feel. Everyone goes through different situations and beliefs or whatever, but my experience, first-hand knowledge, was just so, never experienced that before, put it that way. Obviously never had a relative. My mum never knew my father. So is now basically making this strength for those. You hear about babies dying at birth. You hear about wars. You hear about so much go on. You hear so much corruption, so much unlawful stuff go on, and nothing's easy, and so much still is going on in many subjects. But life, the clock still is turning. The roller coaster of life keeps going on. The injustice keeps going on. And I said to my mum, it's okay. You'll be out of pain, Mum. When you feel it's ready for you to go, you got nothing to hold on to. I'll get through it. It's going to be hard. And I appreciate everything you've tried and done. Although I didn't see it all then, I do realise it all now. It's not great when you're reading things about you in black and white, because you don't see that as you. Other people can see things through you. Well, not at you, but well, might even be at you, but they can see through things you might not be able to. And sometimes it's difficult to, you got so much things in your life, it's difficult to trust people, and certain things in life you go through and different situations can get in the way to see what's important. So yeah, yesterday, saying the right thing, certain things, having the opportunity to say my goodbyes was absolutely a blessing in disguise. I was finally able to say what I needed to say for so many years, and for her to, I sense, her spirit, her recognition, and it's a shame it couldn't have been done while she was healthy. She was more closer to my other sister, and I don't know, I just thought because I wasn't a Mormon anymore in the family, that's why I was treated the way I was always, and never any help by him. But I found out by my other sister her personal problems in her family, because they got grown up sons and daughters with children of their own now, and it's a wide network. And that's what I said to my mum. I said, you've left a legacy, your DNA in all of us, in such a large family, in the ways it always live on. Your time now is to go back to Gran, my mum, my grandmother. And there's a lot of stuff that's not, I can't really go into this channel on this stream about right now. It's inappropriate. So yeah, there's a lot of grieving to do. Shock, everything, natural. Got ways to cope. If you're going through a lot of depression, just whatever your situation you're going through, because I'm still going to go through a lot, I know. And I said to my mum, you don't need to hold on anymore. I don't need to see you in pain. You go to Gran, you go to loved ones. She's always been in love with a particular bloke that did what he did to me and my family all my life as kids. And he's dead years ago. But what can you do? It's just learn now to heal. And that's what I realised. And so if you hold on to things in life, it drags you down negatively. Yes, it's still be careful who you can trust in life. Still difficulties in life. But when you wake up, you can breathe. I know I've still got my challenges and my ill health and stuff like that going on. But I still try to put, little things I can do and still carry on for the sake of my mum. This is my next, really, phase of my life. And I'm doing this for my mum. And she raised me in such a way, it's not all been perfect, but she's raised me in such a way, the best way she knew how, in the difficult circumstances. And I always will be grateful for that. More than that, words can say. So for anyone that you only know too well, how life is precious, how life could be just taken away from you just at a second, at a moment. You don't know when your time's up. So you think that the richest in life is the latest phones, the latest gadgets, and protest this and protest that. No, I've learnt that. a long, long time ago. But I learned a lot more what's more important nowadays after yesterday and today onwards. My brother phoned me up today to tell me the news. I wasn't shocked. Well, of course I'm shocked, but I wasn't surprised. And he told me this. He says, whatever you said, because it's private conversation, to Mum, and how you were, he said thanks to me. He's never done that in the way it has for years. So I was made to be there. It's not coincidental. I was meant to be there. And I was meant to say those words. How they came out of me, I do not know. They just did in the right way for my mum. So for anyone that's lost a loved one, or you're about to, or you're grieving, or you're going through your own illnesses, the spirit within your heart, mind, body and soul all connects together. Your body eventually will wear out, and we're all going to die at one point. Whatever your belief systems are, the technology, the advanced side of it all, the consciousness of our minds inside our soul is what is important. All of our organs that makes our physical body work, how the electricity in our brains work, our inner spiritual well-being, our soul, all makes, it lives on, basically. It lives on. So whatever your belief systems are, whether we're atheists, whatever, it's up to you. But I know we do live on. And how and what to, well, that's out for debate. Everyone's got different opinions on that. I just got my own personal views on that. So, big shout out for everyone out there that's been following me on this channel. For those I got to know, you know who you are. Started off about the weather, then the housing, then all public servants issues. And now this is the last video on this channel for a long time. I won't be deleting it because I still need to use the email. But I'll be using a different one for smaller things. When I eventually can get myself in a place, in a better situation and somehow, somewhere, or some way, lawfully, I like to think I can put my experiences to good use. But it's going to take time. I need time to heal and time to be stable in my own personal situation. And my sister gave me the idea today. It's early days yet. So with the younger generation, you see, how they divert into the standards and of your parent you only know too well, or you may not know. You do your best. You can't take on the bigger picture things of the world, what's going on. You can only deal with your own situation. I know it's difficult. But just remember this, if you don't mind saying, it's your health, your inner spirit. So all the distractions in the world, all the harm, all the suffering, all the pain, time. Don't waste time. Live for today. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You can't live to pull the regrets for things that's happened because it drags you down. I know that too well. You can't always get justice and things in life. I know that now. You can only try and heal and move on in the life, whatever that might be for your own situation. And no, things ain't going to be perfect. Nothing is. Unless you're very lucky to be in a situation and not need to go through so much trauma. Be careful how early trauma can affect you in later life if it's not healed and dealt with at the time. And with so much cuts and so many services, it's difficult for everybody to try and help anyone else. If you find anything that helps you and you find it heals, only my viewpoint is to share your knowledge, to help each other along the way. For my mum, you're around me all the time. For all those out there and my loved ones and family, they know where they are. For anyone else going through dark, deep, dark times, I know too well what it's like. I don't know you personally, your situation, but I know just too well what it's like. Breathe, turn your devices off, take a moment for yourself. We all got our own little ways to cope, and sometimes people don't. And sadly, people don't see a way through and can't see a way out. And that's a sad reality of life. So with the technology that's meant to be about nowadays, I like to think the neutralising of technology can help so many of us out there who struggle in our own little ways with the right support. And how that might look like, who knows? It's not an ideal life, is it? We only try to make the best of what we got. If that helps anyone, I'm sharing this on the day and my mum's died. God be with you, whatever your belief systems are. And if you don't hear me from a while on this channel, you know why. I'll be getting by somehow.